Hello, my lovelies. Happy Friday. This is going to be your mystery reading that had the highest votes from the poll that I posted. So, this is going to be your weekend messages and the mystery reading. So, we're going to start with the mystery part first, and then we will do each of the 12 zodiacs, what your weekend messages is. Well, what your weekend messages are, whatever. You know, I can't talk. It's Mercury in retrograde. Welcome to the chaos. This is me. All right. So if you're new here, hi and welcome. My name is Damsel in Distress Tarot. This is our weekend messages. This is our collective reading. So next week's going to look a little bit different. We posted the monthlies this week for September. Next week, we're already in September. We're starting in the beginning of fall. We've got all these crazy retrogrades going on. So collectively, there will be a lot of things that are coming up from the past that are going to have to, sorry, there's a plane outside. It's super loud right now. All right, let's see if that's any better. So, there are collectively a lot of crazy astrological events going on from now until the end of the year. So, expect a lot of changes to happen in that time. A retrograde simply means that things feel like they're going backwards. And the reason they feel like that is because things from our past tend to come up so that we can evaluate whether they work for us or whether they need to be released or things need to change. So if something is coming up from your past, whether that's a relationship, a situation, an issue that you thought you had already dealt with, it's time to evaluate what you want to do about it going forward. So that's all a retrograde is really for. It's frustrating. There's a lot of hiccups. There's a lot of things that, we wish we didn't have to deal with that come from the past. So this is your opportunity to evaluate what's going on in your life and to be able to release it once and for all and finally let go of that energy. So the next time it comes around, you're like, nope, I've already dealt with that. It's done. It's a done deal. All right. So without further ado, we are going to start with what is keeping us to where we're feeling overwhelmed since we're dealing with all these retrogrades and crazy stuff going on. What is it? Let's see. What is it in my life that is too full? Could be a union. All right. So normally this would be a lot of balance in your situation, positivity, things like that. Maybe in your union that things are kind of crazy, that maybe they aren't as balanced as you wish they were. And so this is something that you might need to evaluate as well. Maybe this isn't something that you want. Maybe it is something that you want. It's going to be different for each person that actually sees this. So the aspect of my life that's too full. That's what this card symbolizes. So, are we investing too much into a situation that maybe we aren't getting reciprocal energy? Are we investing in something because we think it's bringing us stability, but in reality, maybe it's not? So, those are some things that we need to think about. What is being neglected in your situation? All right. Could also be love. So I feel like love could definitely be an issue, whether you have some, whether you need some, whether you don't want any whatsoever. But I also feel like there is potentially a new offer that's coming in that you're neglecting that could lead to stability for you in the future. But if you aren't open to this, if you're always rejecting people if they ask you out on a date, or if you don't want anything to do with the idea of love, then this could really be an issue that's keeping you in a space where you are neglecting the things that really will bring you some happiness. All right. Our next card is What's Being Forgotten? Some clarity, some truth. Apparently, Spirit is going to give us a lot of confirmations. We've got jets flying over that are super loud, trains honking. There's some forward progress that's going to happen by this weekend. I feel like you're going to get some sort of breakthrough, some sort of truth, some sort of clarity, and that these are some things that have you've forgotten. So maybe it's like you get a sudden, oh my gosh, that's the answer that I've been looking for. There's some sort of breakthrough that's coming that you have neglected. All right, so how are you being affected? How are how am I affected by the situation? If I could read today, that would help. All right, so the Three of Wands in reverse. So there's been a lot of delays, a lot of waiting, a lot of frustrations, and maybe you even have to return home for something, whether that's moving home or whether that's like relocating someplace that's home, things like that. Those might be how you're being affected by this situation, especially if there's been an ending in like a long-standing relationship or something where maybe you do have to pack up, travel, leave, move home, things like that. That could also be affecting you. What I need to reduce or release from my life: the worry, the anxiety, the guilt, the shame. confirmation. You can't make this stuff up. Yeah, they're saying that it's time. It's time to release. Clearly, we need to release this feeling of being trapped, anxious, overthinking, worry. All of these things are keeping us stuck, and that's holding us back from potentially where we need to be. How can I better manage my duties? You can start manifesting. The Magician, it's all about creating the life that you want. Think positive, positive affirmations, positive thought processes. Put your ideas out there. Ask the universe for what it is that you need, what it is that you want, and wait for confirmation that they will give you the green light to basically go ahead on your ideas, or that they are welcoming them into your life. So I feel like all in all, we have potentially a lot of really great stuff coming in, but energetically it looks like we're blocking it, and those are creating delays, frustrations, and a lot of overthinking and anxiety. So we need to really find our power again. We need to get centered. We need to ground our energy. We need to be resourceful and creative, and we need to manifest by doing those things, that we put the ideas out there and then we're open to receive. So that is our first reading that we're going to do for our mystery read. All right, our second one is self-care for growth. So let's see what kind of growth we need. So what do I need for a safe place to grow? That you need a victory. Interesting. So I feel like you've been dealing with a lot, that you've been going through a lot of hard fought battles, that you felt like you just were kind of banging your head against the wall, seeing no real results. That's about to change. I feel like even if it's a small victory, if it's something that is giving you some sort of like forward push, some forward momentum, that it's enough to get you to keep going. So I almost equate it to like even a small victory is still a victory, right? And this could be some sort of reward, some sort of recognition, could be a pay raise, a promotion, something like that that's coming in to give you that little bit of boost that you need. All right. Nourishments, what energizes me for my growth. All right, you feel really reckless, really restless, really outspoken, really driven. But I also feel like this could be something that you need that in order to keep pushing towards your goals. So in order for that nourishment to come in, I feel like you do need a little bit of an incentive, so to speak, in order to keep wanting to push forward towards your goals. That there's been a lot of competition, there's been a lot of clashing egos, rivalry, and battles of the will. And so this may kind of dampen the want to keep going, and that you're kind of scared, that you're pinching pennies, that you're worried about things. And so these improvements need to come in, I feel like, in order for you to actually feel like you can keep going, right? So let's see what else we have. So shelter, what gentle protection do I need? That you need to start shifting your perspective, that all is not lost. Count your blessings, look at the positive in your life, see the silver lining, and know that all things are happening for you, not to you, and shifting your perspective will help. I also think that this is an indication that if things aren't going right, that sometimes it's okay to be like, I need to go back to the drawing board and I need to be willing to try something else. So if it isn't working and you've exhausted all your options, try something else. It's okay. All right, so you could be experiencing some money losses. Remember that all is not lost. If you look behind you, that you might have something left to salvage. All right, let's see what we have for growing. Where can I challenge myself to grow? That I feel like it's almost like you need to nurture yourself, but you also might be really overextended, is what I'm picking up. So I feel like you need to be gentle with yourself. I feel like you need to nurture yourself, self-love, self-care. Do some things that bring you some happiness just for the sheer joy that they bring you. And don't worry about any of the other stuff. It'll still be there in 5 minutes when you're done with whatever you're doing. Take that time for personal care, for take a mental health day if you need to. I'm going to be tongue tied, guys. We know this. Take a mental health day. Clear some space out of your brain so that you can relax and recharge. And I feel like that's going to help you grow in a way, because you're giving to yourself, especially. I feel like that's a huge challenge for a lot of us, that it's like, oh, I have all this stuff to do, myself included. I usually have a lot of things going on. So to actually take time out of my day and to do something that's enjoyable for the sheer fact that just because I want to is really challenging for me some days. There's other days where I can't get out of bed due to my fibromyalgia and my health issues that I'm dealing with, and it's really a challenge to just function. So be gentle with yourself, and I feel like that's going to kind of help push you in a new direction of success because you're actually giving to yourself first instead of being depleted. I feel like that's really going to help us. All right, training. What should I keep in mind as I grow? That slow and steady wins the race. In order to be successful, you're going to have some patience along your journey. But the problem is that you feel really restless, really like agitated sometimes, like, oh, why is this not happening for me right now, right? We want our instant gratification, and it's difficult to wait. The good news is that if you are patient, it usually does work out better for you in your favor. So while Rome wasn't built overnight, you're going to have some patience in order to get to your final destination. Like a turtle crossing the finish line, it might take you a while, but you will eventually reach your goal and you will be successful. So watch out for people who could be arrogant, especially powerful business people. I feel like that could potentially be an obstacle if you're trying to rush things. But I do think that slow and steady will win the race for you. Pruning. Where am I fearfully overprotective of myself? Where am I overprotective of myself? The Hanged Man in reverse. We're starting to see the light. We're starting to see where things really do need to change. You're getting stronger in yourself after a lot of deliberating and delays in your life. Things are starting to change. I almost feel like you're finally starting to trust yourself and stop listening to your ego so much. So that's huge. That there's a lot of internal struggles that you're overcoming as well. All right, so what can I cut away for my growth? See. Let's see that there's some sort of rush decision. There's some sort of important letter or something that's coming in as well. So I almost feel like, ooh, they're giving me something energetically. Let me get this whole message. They're saying that there's something that you could be neglecting, like a piece of mail that's really important. So don't neglect that you might miss a deadline. So make sure that you're like clearing out things like that you're very careful, that you read through things. Don't just like think it's junk mail and throw it away, that might be something important that you actually need to address. That there's some sort of document or letter, piece of mail, something that's important. So don't neglect that. And you need to like accomplish that for the growth. So blossoming, what is it that we need in order to blossom? Big changes. So this could feel like a catastrophe, an accident, sudden shocking news, but remember the changes are happening for you, not to you. So allow the tower to crumble. Shifting your perspective will help for you to be able to see things in a new way in order to actually be able to go forward. So what is it that will help me in extending my boundaries to flourish and grow? That letting go of your frustrations are going to help you to flourish and grow. That work might be really frustrating you, life in general might be frustrating you, but that there is some hard work that needs to be done at work or at a situation in life for you to grow. Let's see what our final outcome is. Woo, 3 cards. All right. 4 cards. All right, so we need to follow through with our ambitions. We need to have some confidence, and that we need to follow through with our ambitions, be driven, be passionate, be outspoken. That by doing so, we have a reason to celebrate. Some good news is coming and some celebrations. It helps us to overcome a lot of pain in these cycles that we're dealing with, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of things that just really were not good, jealousy, deception, and a broken heart. It's time to start healing. And we have the Emperor. So this tells us that we need to make some sort of bold strategic move. We might also need some assistance from a father figure or a partnership, but he is the divine masculine, and I feel like that could definitely be somebody who is coming in to offer us some sort of stability, whether it's financial or whether it's somebody that helps us come up with a plan, a strategy in order to help us to be able to go forward in a better light. That's what we have for our mystery portion. We're going to do all of the zodiacs. I'm going to go by elements, so fire, water, air, and earth. All right, fire signs, Aries, Sagittarius, and Leos. What's happening for the weekend? What do fire signs need to know? All right, there's some sort of quick communication coming in, some sort of speed travel or results and communication coming in quickly. Those are typically seen as the arrows of love. I feel like it's time to let go of the conflict and chaos and move into calmer waters. You also need to shift your perspective this weekend and see that all is not lost, that there's something to salvage. You're a very independent person. You're full of passion, full of fire, full of drive, full of confidence. Find that within you this weekend and go forward bravely. You have some sort of decision to make. Weigh your options carefully. Do not rush your decision. Do not jump in head first. Do not go after the things that only glitter. Sparkly objects might distract you. Make sure you choose wisely. Live in reality. Do not operate in fantasy land. All right. It's going to take some strength for you, Leo energy. You have the power, the passion, the courage, the conviction. Be determined to be successful. All right, there could be somebody in your path that's a little cold, a little skeptical, somebody who is a little afraid of getting hurt, and they might be giving you some tough love. Scorpio energy, you're going through a metamorphosis. Some big changes are happening. It's time for a shift. I feel like you do want marriage and commitment with a certain somebody, but you are trying to ascend to this higher level. There will be some sort of growth, some sort of new beginning, and some sort of creativity coming. I feel like there's an unexpected offer that is coming in either from you or from them because you do want commitment. You want a fresh start, you want a do over, and you definitely want to go towards your person. You see them as a wish fulfillment. This is somebody that you've had your eye on for a while. You have hope still that things can be salvaged after a period of pain and heartbreak. You want to go forward for a victory. So I do think that you have some communication either coming or that you are going to be giving to somebody for a fresh start in love, that you really are determined you want to be with this person, you want long term, you want commitment, you want marriage. There's been a lot of pain, a lot of heartbreak, but you are going towards your victory. So I do feel like this person could either be famous in some way, shape, or form, well known for something. You could potentially be famous, but you are looking to gain a victory in this situation. So shift your perspective and go after the things that you want. That's what we have for fire signs. All right, water signs, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. What's going on for the water signs for the weekend? All right, we start with some deep, heavy emotions, and we're definitely losing sleep over it. I feel like you're crying a lot or you have a lot of emotions coming up. This week's full moon is in Pisces, so Pisces could really be feeling their emotions. I am a Pisces sun. Mine's kind of been like a roller coaster all over the place this week. So, definitely leading up to a full moon, you might be really drained, you might be really exhausted, unable to sleep. So, things are kind of wonky right now. Give yourself some time and patience. Cancer energy with the chariot. So I do feel like things are progressing forward. There could also be the potential that you're going to move, change some things in your life, and that you need to start shifting your perspective. Not all is lost. You need to go after your ambitions. I feel like there could potentially be a fire sign as well that's very restless, driven, passionate, outspoken. And it does look like this person wants to come in with some sort of news to kind of change things up. They may have a potentially really beautiful offer for you. The fruits of your labor are going to pay off. Some sort of peace of mind, especially financially, is coming in. And this could open up the door of opportunities to travel, to change some things, to take a trip somewhere. You're looking towards your future. I feel like you're kind of in this pessimistic energy. So, really shifting that mentality is going to help you go further. But I do think you need to start thinking about your future and that some things need to change. You also need to stick up for yourself somewhere, that things need to find some balance and gain some momentum forward, that things really do need to transpire. I feel like you're working on healing. You yourself might be some sort of healer, or you're very business focused right now, and that I feel like you're focused on your finances, practical matters, things that you can really work on to achieve. I also feel like you might be really professional and that this might be something that you're working towards changing. If maybe you kind of just did your own thing for a long time and you want to climb the corporate ladder, you want to change or elevate your status, I feel like that starts from within, that you really need to focus on what you can change. Walk away from the things that don't work so you open up new opportunities. There could be some money issues that you're facing, but I do feel like you're turning your back and walking away from doesn't what doesn't work so you can go forward in a new way. There is potentially a new love opportunity coming in. This could shock you, could surprise you. I feel like it's also going to be a helping hand, like maybe somebody is blessing you with something. Traveling, definitely traveling. Or, ooh, I'm also getting astral traveling. You might be not sleeping well, but when you sleep, you're sleeping very hard and you're traveling to the astral realms, which we all do when we sleep. So, very vivid dreams might be something that you're dealing with as well. And I feel like there could be somebody who's coming in with a lot of passion in your life. Could potentially be a fire sign. I do strongly feel like there's a fire sign that's trying to come into the water sign's life right now, and that this person might be a little bit of a flight risk. They might also travel a lot. Maybe they want you to accompany them on their adventures. They might also want marriage with you. Interesting. Could be a younger fire sign. Doesn't have to be, but I do feel like this person really wants to have a life with you, that they see building something solid. So somebody might be unexpectedly showing up at your door, some unexpected visitor, or the potential to travel, relocate, change jobs, and move to greener pastures. Make sure that you're basing your decisions in reality, not fantasy land, that we definitely want to find some balance. And if something is deceptive or it's delayed for a reason, that you could definitely have a lot of ups and downs. Really kind of be willing to be honest with yourself as well as others. It does look like you get some sort of victory in this, some sort of recognition, or even potentially becoming famous. The Six of Wands is about recognition. It's a reward for all your hard work, all the battles that you've had to fight. You stand out from the crowd. There's things that people are starting to notice about you. It's taken a lot of strength and courage and conviction in order to overcome some of these things. Keep going. Do not give up, especially if it's something really important. Slow and steady wins the race, especially in business, that you're working on building an empire. You've been really confused. I feel like you will get some sort of clarity after all of this, but you will have some sort of decision to make regarding love and relationships. This is Gemini energy. It symbolizes twin energy. So it could be a twin flame, it could be a soulmate, it could be anybody, but you will have some sort of decision about long term coming in. I do feel like this person sees you as their divine counterpart, the mother of their children. They see you as nurturing, very loving, emotional, romantic, and they know there's a lot of competition for your affections. So they want to weed that out because their ultimate goal with you is union. That's what we have for water signs. All right, air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Let's see, what do we have going on for you this weekend? All right, you also might be thinking about long-term marriage and commitment or breaking some sort of tradition. You might be ascending spiritually and growing. And I feel like you're gathering your confidence, following your passions, and finding some sort of independence. Could also be dealing with somebody who's giving you a dose of tough love or some skepticism. They're using their intellect to protect themselves from any sort of harm or issue going on. What is this? Three of Wands in reverse. So there may have been a lot of delays going towards this union, lots of waiting, lots of frustration. You may also have to return home for something. I'm getting energetically that you may have left something important at home and have to return, like on your way to work, or that you may potentially have to move home due to financial issues. It does look like you have a fresh start and a new beginning coming, also potentially marriage. Leo and Taurus energy, Hierophant, and the Sun. So you have a chance for a fresh start and a new beginning should you want it. Some sort of luck is on your side right now to start fresh with your accomplishments. You might also be trying to change jobs, travel, relocate, moving after some sort of issue into something that's better suited for you. So be a bit of a rebel, be a bit of a rogue, and discover some new things. I feel like work is going to require a lot of time and effort on your part. Some hard work is definitely needed, determination to be successful. Libra energy with justice. So I feel like there could be some sort of contract that's being signed, dealing with the courts for weddings. We do have three cards potentially that could indicate that marriage is coming, some sort of contract, some sort of equality and balance being restored. So shift your perspective, see things differently, get out of the negative mindset, get out of the confusion. Two fives back to back is a 10, so we're completing this cycle that isn't working for us, and be willing to take a leap of faith. Try something new, step out of your comfort zone, let go of the negative people, the naysayers, the gossips, the people that are always talking shit behind your back. They are behind you for a reason. Leave them there. Go forward in a new direction. You need to let go of the past. I feel like you're feeling really nostalgic, but that needs to end in order to go forward. You're going through a metamorphosis. Stick up for what it is that you want. Fight for your beliefs. Let go of the conflict and chaos. Move into calmer waters. You're looking for stability. You're looking for union, and you will have a reason to celebrate if you transform the energy. It helps to bring in the balance that you're looking for. So go after the things that you want. I do feel like you have a sense of adventure. You have a lot of passion, or you need to be a little bit more of a rebel. So be brave, go forward, take some action where it's needed, and remember that you're working on healing. It's not going to happen overnight. Stay practical, especially about business related things, and use your logic in order to gain you some success this weekend. Last but not least, my earth signs. So Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn. What do we have? An unexpected love offer coming in. It's going to shock you. It's going to surprise you. Could come from somebody at work, maybe something that's business focused, or you're focused on your practical matters and you don't even see this coming. Either way that it resonates for you. Watch out for some people who are arrogant, especially at work. Could also be dealing with something or someone from your past. I feel like the past could kind of be coming back. You have to decide what you want to do about that. You might be hoarding resources right now out of a fear mentality. Don't worry, there is more money coming to you and some improvements are underway. It could come in quickly for some of you. I do think that there's some sort of important letter that comes in. It could have to do with your finances, maybe some sort of unexpected check in the mail that improves things, or it's a raise or promotion at work, even potentially changing jobs for the better, that it pays better and balance things out. Nurture what you want to grow. I feel like you could have some help or assistance on your side. And all of these things from the past are keeping you up at night. So let go of those things that are making you feel trapped, or insecurities are resurfacing. We're in a bunch of retrogrades. It's going to come up so that you have to deal with it to finally close the chapter out. But you have some good luck coming. A wish fulfillment is underway, something that leaves you feeling fulfilled. You also need to start thinking about your future and what that looks like. You might be traveling. You do need to stick up for yourself, your beliefs, and what you want, and be brave and take some action somewhere that it's needed. So whatever this is, whether it's your finances, a job that's making you feel stuck, a relationship, or something from the past, it's going to take some hard work to transition out of that. Let go of the pain and the heartbreak that you're currently dealing with. Make some bold strategic moves in order to try a new chapter, or you have somebody in your corner that's going to help you let go of this heavy burden, something you've carried for a long time, and you've had to be very strong through all of these different changes. The good news is you have a new beginning coming. This is potentially marriage or children, or at least a fresh start that brings you a lot of happiness. So close out the old cycles that don't work. Finally let these things be a thing of the past. Where one door closes, a new one is able to open. So you're going through some major changes. Embrace the change, go with the flow. Remember, these are happening for you, not to you. And when the tower crumbles, you can rebuild. It does look like you have a wish fulfillment coming after the fact, a lot of happiness. A spark of creativity or some sort of passion project could also be coming in, but a new idea or birthing new creations. So be willing to let your guard down. Obviously, some changes need to occur. You're a little undecided in this situation, but you need to step out of it to see things more clearly. And there is some communication coming that's going to help you take this leap of faith. Be willing to try new things. Step out of your comfort zone. If it isn't working, close that chapter and begin something new. Be willing to take a leap of faith and try new things for a new opportunity to present itself. Have a great weekend, guys. We'll see you back here Monday.